Hello, you beautiful YouTube people. I'm Neryl Canis. I am a children's book illustrator and welcome to my fourth YouTube video. In this video, I'll be creating this illustration, so if you're interested, please stay tuned. Also, I don't think I'll ever stop doing this because people always mispronounce my name, but my name is pronounced as Neryl. It's like Meryl, but with an N. Before we begin, I would like to thank Jen from the SBS Learn Forum for requesting to see how I do my color studies. This one's for you, Jen. Now let's begin! As you can see, I've already started with my sketch. This is another portfolio piece suggested by my agent. She advised that I add an outdoor scene. And looking at my current body of work, I really don't have a lot of outdoor pieces, so I definitely agree. As you can see, I am just roughly sketching in the general shapes. Right now, I'm just figuring out where to place everything. I usually proceed to colors at this stage, but since this scene is more complex than my other works, I decided to refine my sketch more so that I don't have to figure it all out again in the coloring stage, and waste my time and effort like I usually do. And after I sketched in the buildings, I added in the characters. In my mind, I wanted to set this scene early in the morning, where people are just waking up, getting ready, and heading for work and school. They're all stick figures now because I'm being lazy again. As per Jen's request, I started with my color studies. Overall, I wanted this piece to feel peaceful and serene. However, I got carried away with the morning scene and my colors became more livelier and busy. I played with the lighting a bit. I love how the sun is just peeking on top of the rooftops. But none of them seem to capture that serene feeling I was going for. That is until I went the complete opposite direction, as you'll see in a bit. In the second study, it's almost identical to the first, except for the stronger lighting and darker shadows. To be honest, I really loved this setting as well. Maybe I'll create a morning version of this piece in the future, if I have time, that is. Now for the third study, it's almost the same as the first two. I just angled the sun a little lower. That's why now you can't see the lighting on the roofs anymore. This color study is not really standing out for me, so I moved on just as quickly. Now onto the fourth study. As I've said before, I wasn't really getting that serene feeling from the other studies. So I went the complete opposite route for this one. I was initially going for a dawn setting, but I decided to push it even further and turn it into nighttime. I love how calm and peaceful everything feels, especially with the blue tint. When I added in the lights coming in from the houses, I just knew this was it. This was the one. So now we've moved on to the coloring stage. I'm just painting in all of the flat colors before any shadows or any atmospheric lighting. I'm not gonna lie, this point was definitely the ugly stage for this piece. All the colors looked so drab, nothing was working well, there was no color harmony. It just looked horrible. I hated it, really, seriously. I was beginning to regret my decisions, but I had to stop myself. I was like, the color study looked great, so just push through this, okay? Trust the process. It will all work out in the end. Right? Right? It will all work out in the end. That's what I kept on telling myself. Anyways, I was already days into this piece. I couldn't back out now. I had to commit. I had to commit. Right here, I just had to add a multiply layer on top of the colors just to see if it will look good. I needed reassurance, guys. I needed to reassure myself that it will look good in the end because I was so lost during this stage. I was doubting myself so much. I really didn't know if it will work or not. Luckily, at this stage, when I've colored in about 50% of the piece, everything was starting to come together. It still looked like doo-doo. Let's be real, it looked like doo-doo, but it was passable doo-doo. Here I am adding details to the other houses. You can find more of these neighborhoods in the provinces. Native houses are not that popular in urban areas because despite being great for hot summers, they don't stand well during the monsoon season. Just one good storm and your house will be wrecked. Also, people in the cities just have more money and can afford to have concrete stormproof houses. And finally, with the flat colors complete, I am painting in the blue multiply layer. This will make our illustration look like it's nighttime. Also, pro tip, if you want to show an evening scene, use a cool tint over your piece instead of black. Black is just too intense and it will most likely make your piece illegible to the viewers and readers. So use cool colors, don't use black. I have to confess, it's only during this point that I became confident with my choices again. It was only at this point that the piece was actually coming together. The earlier times, I doubted myself, like very strongly. But now I actually feel good. I can now say for sure that this will look great, that this piece will definitely work. And here I'm just adding some orange glow on the lines. Here I am adding more details. I am adding a sari-sari store, which is a small neighborhood convenience store. I've always wanted to illustrate one, so maybe in the future stay tuned for a video of that. And now I am sketching in my characters. My story is that it's nighttime and people are coming home from work. This mom on the scooter is going home and she is greeted by her daughters who also just arrived from school and are still in their uniforms. Here in the Philippines, it gets dark like around 6 p.m. It's very early compared to other countries, I guess. This is a scene straight from my childhood. My mom worked as a teacher. She worked at a school further into the mountains, and we lived near the sea. She would go to work very early in the morning and come home when it's already dark. Me and my brother would always keep a lookout for her, and when she arrived, we would all run to greet her. This story is definitely near and dear to my heart. Also added a little dog running beside the mom here. Growing up, we had a lot of pet dogs and they would always greet us when we arrived home. Here I am adding a couple of side characters. This lady is closing up her shop. And here we have a balut vendor. And for anyone who doesn't know, balut is a fertilized duck egg. I have to be honest here and say it looks disgusting because it does, but it tastes really nice. And like my mom say, balut is a dish that you should eat when it's dark because you will definitely lose your appetite, especially for those of you who are not so used to it, not so familiar with it. I am not going to insert a pic of it here, but you can Google it. Google it at your own risk, by the way. You've been warned. And a few more details here and there, and we're done! Here's the final piece. Thank you so much for watching the video. This piece was definitely a challenge. The colors were a nightmare, but I trusted my gut. Sorta, and I trusted the process and it turned out amazing, if I do say so myself. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, please leave it in the comments below. Please subscribe. Do you also have any childhood memories that has stuck with you? Feel free to share it with the class. We'd love to hear your story. Again, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. See you! Bye!